The first dementia symptoms that a patient has can tell doctors about how the disease will progress.
The most common reasons for dementia in the population are Alzheimer's disease and Lewy body dementia.
Dr. Jajan Pillai is a cognitive neurologist at Cleveland Clinic.
We use the word dementia to say someone has changes in their thinking or function that is impacting their ability to live independently.
New Cleveland Clinic research shows that people with initial symptoms having to do with language and judgment changes have a more rapid decline than those experiencing only memory loss.
It really tells you that, when you have memory changes, you also find ways to compensate for the memory changes, maybe keeping notes or sticky pads, whereas where you're having changes in your judgment, it's harder to compensate for that. So you have more functional difficulties in maintaining a daily routine.
Researchers looked at data from 2,400 patients, comparing rates of decline for people with Alzheimer's disease, Lewy body dementia, and mixed dementia.
Each of the symptoms of memory or judgment or language actually occurs because they involve very different parts of the brain, where the memory system is involved, the language system is involved. So in the language system, we talk about difficulty expressing yourself fluently, or using the wrong choice of words to describe, or unable to come up with the words to describe something, or finding it longer to describe something.
These new findings can help doctors recommend appropriate care.
Previously, we lumped everyone with Alzheimer's disease or Lewy body disease under the same category. We were not aware that initial symptoms, people can progress very differently. So when we counsel family members, we can make preparations for the kind of help and needs that we can anticipate depending on the symptoms they have. We also can think about using how we measure change after using medications. We know that even if people don't take medications, there's so much variation. So when we are testing for medications, we have to take that into account. Because if one group is having more memory symptoms and another group is having more language problems, the language problem group is going to progress faster or slower depending on how they are kind of balanced out. So this also helps in making decisions and making appropriate trials and things like that from medications.
Things are changing rapidly in this area of healthcare.
The most exciting thing in the field is that the number of medication choices have almost doubled in the last few years. So we anticipate a lot more possibilities of treating this condition, and we're looking at the light at the end of the tunnel and figuring out really a cure, maybe in our lifetimes.
For Fox 8, I'm Dr. Marc.
Dr. Marc is sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic.